You know who that is?
You're kidding, right? It's
Mario, King.
All right. Let me get up in here. Let me get up in here. Switch over to that live scene. Yo, what's going on? Gaius, what's up, Gaius? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Hope everything is well with you. That chat box to my left. And yeah, hope everybody's doing okay. It's a little hot in here. I might have to open the window. Give me a sec. It's a little hot in here. It's a little better. Man, so pretty good chapter this week, right? Pretty good chapter of the Urek side story. I think so. I what I was hoping and what I'm assuming is looking like is going down. So the princess, which we don't have her name, we still don't have a name. Her and Urek is looking like they're gonna be duo. They're looking like they're gonna be teammates, like for real, like best friend type vibes. Okay, which brought to mind. I was thinking about if we will definitely get to see Bayek. I didn't consider that because I was just looking at the craziest events, but we will get to meet Bayek at some point. I actually can't wait for that. That's super hype. I wonder if they're like a decent trio. I wonder if Bayek is like even established right now, right? Like he should be. I don't know if he's top tier. I don't know what the ranking system is. I hope I hope to see who does show us, right? I would love to see what the ranking system is right now post pre Urek. Like I would love to know if like Baek's already that guy or him like him and you're making on Wahai song created and gave him that spot. Like them being like the top of that organization created that spot. I wonder if that's what did it. I hope he does show us like a top ranking list, right? I don't even know if like at this point has Fanta like even like been to Zahar's castle, like so as it stands, Enryu should still be number one if I'm thinking about this timing. Enryu should still be number one because the Enryu incident should have happened already. I don't know if I don't think Phantom Medium's incident has happened yet. We're not getting any necessarily no evidence right now that it's happened already. Um, yeah, nobody's talked about it happening yet. So Enryu should be number one in the tower at least, and then it should be Zahard, and then it should be Ari Han. I believe that should be about right. How do you feel about people just joining the Tower of God community because of the spinoff? I love it. Listen, anything that gets people into the community is a great thing. So like even with like Tower God anime season 2, absolutely thought it was trash in terms of animation. I think everything else was okay. I think the storytelling was okay. I think um the lineup of each episode was okay because I did go back and watch it, even though like I gritted my teeth. I think the storytelling is fine. It's just literally just the animation. It's the same thing with T Bait right now. Like I think the T Bait storytelling is fine. I think the pacing is just fine. To keep people interested. It's just that like you choose cheap animation studios. That's it. If you kept the same pacing but upgraded the animation, we'd be living good. We'd be eating real good with Tower of God right now. But um, yeah, I love that people are liking the side story and it's shifting them into the overall story. I've had like an uptick. Um, I had an uptick when season 2 dropped, but I've also had an uptick recently of a couple of people watching like my old reviews when season 3 started back up. So like chapter like a 540, 550. I've had like a recent uptick in those, so that means that people are either I don't think there would be reason to rewatch stuff like that, but people who are new are tuning in and getting into it. So I appreciate that and I love that. But yeah, the side story is popular on the manga websites that are officially releasing it, so it's doing good. It's absolutely doing good, and I enjoy it because it has a lot of character, right? Like it's not just about Urek, right? Like Urek is obviously that guy. Everybody loves him, right? But the manga itself has like its own little charm about it. I'm loving like the love aspect between like Evelyn and Lou, and even like it's not like a necessarily a real relationship between the princess and Urek right now, but it's getting there. It's slowly getting there, and you know the comedy aspect, even with like dancing and like the funny moments, like it has that old Tower of God charm that like I at least really missed, and that's what makes it so good. Um, like of course, like everybody like fighting and power scaling is like massive in any community, right? But in this instance, I think it's being done absolutely right. How do you feel about Yurik Shinsu basically being alive? I still don't have any takes on it because I don't know what benefit it brings. Like it's a cool thing, like oh, like God transcended Shinsu that can talk. Cool, but what does that mean? Like how does that work? Like what does that do? Like if he can use it in ways that are like oh he can send like well you have pockets so there's no reason to send like um phone calls or messages or anything. So I don't know. I gotta figure out what the benefit is of it first. And like it doesn't necessarily have to be a benefit. If it's like a character, then okay. I would like to see its influence, but I guess we'll see. And favorite character is definitely Rohan. Rohan is that guy. Rohan is a very, very, very solid dude. Not only is he good spirited, because he's like helping out Lou and he's protecting Lou too in the midst of being attacked by the blue haired guy. We still don't have a name for him either, but in the midst of being attacked, he protected Lou with no problem, showing Lou how to throw spears. Has mad respect for Urek. Like that guy. I hope that he's alive in the real series, and I don't. He don't need to get any massive uptick, but I think that'll be a super duper cool thing. Is that some of the characters from this side story we get to see them in the original story, and they don't have to play massive roles, obviously, from the side story. They're not going to be big players in the regular series, but just to know like that we know who these guys are would be fantastic. Like Rohan, right? Rohan's a spear thrower. He's a spear chucker. Imagine whenever, because everybody's suspecting that at one point Bomb and his crew is going to land on Urek's floor. They get to Urek's floor, and Rack is learning how to learn some new spear throwing techniques from Rohan. Like that would be fire. Like absolutely, like 360 moment, super duper fire. Like I would love a moment like that. So is the ghost collector a ranker? I don't the ticket. Are you talking about the ticket collector? I don't think so. I think it's just a creature, created for the game. The same thing with the goat. I think these creatures are just creatures that are either created or brought in to create the game, whether it's made by the workshop or whatever. I think it just serves a purpose. Supposed to cause like trouble and keep it interesting for them on the ship who are supposed to have tickets. I don't think it's anything crazy, and but it might be something that can't die. Like it seems like something that multiplies, right? So typically in most series, like things that can like mutate and multiply means that they typically can't die because they don't have a form. But Urek might be someone who can. Obviously, he's a regular, so he can change the laws of the tower. So it'd be cool to see if he like disrupts that whole thing, right? So and then I think the most interesting aspect right now that's like in the background is the thing with the supervisors. The supervisors are like the darkness right now for like this story. They are the villains, as you can say. Um, obviously Phantominium is like the end goal, right? But the immediate villains right now are looking like the supervisors because one, it looks like they um they murk regulars they don't like they just straight up murk them. And I don't know how an administrator doesn't see that. Like there's a little bit of a like a I feel like there's a bit of a contradiction there if they're like straight up just killing regulars and the administrator just doesn't know. I would want to see how we're playing around with that because you have to make that make sense first of all. Administrators, controller of their floors, they should know any and every death. If a ranker is killing a regular, then like that should be immediately dealt with, right? Unless it's like the situation where Yurek's gonna purposely fight Danzin, but I hope that's not what's happening because that would be a little strange, right? Um, Administrators are supposed to be the gods of their floors, so they shouldn't be getting outwitted or anything like that. Um, Pacing, I think the pacing is good. I think it's good. Um, I am. I mean, this. It seems like this event is significant. So we did move really really fast between like chapters 2, 3, and 4, and now it's a little bit slower because we're on the ship and there's a little bit of character development like with Lou and like Rohan, and there's a little bit of like stuff happening. So it's slowed down a bit. I'm not opposed to that because we're supposed to learn these guys. These are. It's looking like Rohan, Lou, Evelyn, Neo, and Urek and the Princess. Those are our core. That's our core character lineup, right? Those are the people who are important to the story right now. So we should learn more about them. We should get more details. We should take our time with them. And I'm thinking the side story lasts until like season 4 drops. So it's okay. I do think he'll pick spots to like slow down and ramp up. So like say for instance, we might get a little small time skip where like they advance a couple floors, like the 20th floor or something like that, right? I think that's okay to do in this term. I think he's only going to highlight the big events that happen. So right now, Urek established a relationship with the princess would be considered a big event. Urek using Shinsu for the first time and causing like the ship to go crazy would be considered a big event in terms of his story. So that's fine. Like that's perfectly okay. But I do expect it to ramp up in certain places because I'm not expecting this side story to last forever. So there will be places where we probably skip a couple tests and we'll see like in advance and yeah, we'll just see the big events. So far so good. With the way the manga is going, it being its own thing, I feel like it's going to be the longest spinoff ever. I hope not because I don't want to reading two stories related to one is like I don't think that's necessarily good because one they're supposed to complement each other. So this story complements Tower of God, right? Like obviously there's been massive theory crafted since this story has come out. So it's supposed to cause us to think about what's actually going on in the real story, like where the like we always thought about where the 13 warriors came from and where the great warriors came from and Phantominium has always been like a massive thing in the fandom, but we're putting a little bit of context to it, so they should be complementing each other back and forth. I don't think this story should extend outside of season 4. I really don't. I don't think it's a good idea. It's just it just be too much. I think it's too much to follow for such a big story like this. Me personally, don't get me wrong. More Tower God content, the better. But I don't want the story to kind of stumble over each other, and I don't necessarily want like a drop in quality. Like if CU's writing this story and writing Tower of God, granted he has like help or whatever, writing two stories can be difficult. Like it can be hard to do. And we already know that like season 3 had its issues with whether it was pacing or panels or whatever. You're devoting more time in a week or a month or however he draws his panels and writes it. You're devoting more time to a similar series, so there's bound to be a little bit of overlap there, and that would drop the quality of season 4. So I wouldn't want that. Um, do you think Urek will fight the blonde guy who appears at the end? Absolutely. That guy seems like he's somebody who picks on regulars. That's assuming in like with chapter 3 or 4, whatever, where he threw a spear and killed that regular. That's assuming that's what he did. But given the last part of chapter 8, this guy is doing something that he shouldn't be. Um, it seems like he's picking or hunting on people. I have no idea. That's why I said the supervisor group is the evilness right now. That those are the villains right now. I don't know what to make of this whole thing, especially that last line, the devourer of light may come after you or whatever. I don't know what that means. I have no take on that. I have no idea what that means. It could be Phantominium, obviously, because we know him as the darkness guy, the devourer of light. It makes sense, but what I don't understand is why he would come after them, right? Unless, unless, unless Phantominium has he did not come into the tower alone. Unless Phantominium came into the tower with his followers, and the guy that Cheong guy killed, or he didn't kill him because he walked away, right? But he hurt is a part of like maybe Phantominium's entourage, or maybe Phantominium has like a group of worshippers in there. Okay, that would I would lean more towards that making more sense, but I think there's a lot of context we're missing behind that. So um, we are definitely going to see Yurik have his interaction with Garam, journey in the train, and fight with Arya Han. I don't know, Daniel. I don't think it's necessary to show us those things. I think it's only necessary to show us up until Bomb comes into the tower, to be honest. I don't know if we need like rehash content that shows his perspective. I don't know if that's necessary because it's not like Yurik didn't have standoff moments in the manga, like on the Hell Train or like in the Floor of Death. Like Yurik has had his standoff moments where he was like main character, or was on screen for a while. So I don't know if we need to necessarily see those moments again, even if it's just from his perspective. Um, I think like him noticing. I think the only thing I would want to see is him meeting Bomb for the first time. So obviously within the whale, and then him going back to Bayek and telling Bayek like, "Hey, another irregular has entered. He seems like he's this, and that. We need to pay attention to him." I think that would be the only thing I would want to see. But I wouldn't want to see any of the like significant events that's a part of Bomb's story. I don't think it's necessary. Um, I think it's spin off will end with Urek forming Wahisong. Right, and that's okay. I'm with you there, Reswan. Like I'm absolutely there with you. Seeing him form Why Song with the princess, if she's a part of it, I'm assuming she is, and him meeting Bayek and creating the organization with Bayek. Yes, like that is like super duper peak. Them getting their floor, them establishing the floor, them establishing the people in it. We might get to see Quant, like all the people who join with him later. How he forms the group, the because there's a Coon guy in his group. One of Coon's older brothers, the one who's also a lighthouse user, who created like the game space and stuff. All those characters he gets to meet, I would like, yeah, let's meet those guys. Like let's see how that is created. And the big stuff will come. Again, we know that Phantominium meets Urek, and they're supposed to have a little thing where Phantominium laughs at Urek or whatever. And there's never been a necessary mention of Urek meeting Zahard. I don't think there's ever anything mentioned of them actually ever meeting. It'd be cool if it actually happened, but I can't recall if they ever actually like met each other in real life. Um, yeah, I'm not sure about that one, but um, yeah, we'll get to see the Fanta thing. Um, we'll get to see obviously the Ari Han thing, and right now I'm just calling it. I think this princess is the one who took the test with him. I think that's pretty clear. At least to me it is. Um, I think it's gonna end with Yurik leaving the second floor. Then Ivan Kill and Han Sung comes in and claps the supervisor and takes the floor. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, that's not a bad take, Yurik. I think that I think Story Yurik he's gonna body them. Like he's gonna body all of them. He's gonna get a grasp of his Shinsu. He's gonna get a grasp of his Shinsu because um obviously we got this event where he's like doing the golden Shinsu thing. But I think towards the end of their test with these guys, they're gonna end up like because he's gonna supposed to have that standoff with Danzin, right? Once he bodies Danzin, it's gonna look like he's a problem. And we've already seen that the supervisor Rahab, he wants to get rid of like irregulars that try them. Like that's kind of what he said. Like basically anybody that tries them or any regular who's a little cocky, they want to basically stop them. So once Danzin gets put down, he's probably gonna target Yurik, and I can like Yurik's probably gonna most likely put him down. Um, and then like the administrator is gonna notice. Maybe the administrator notices that um they're trying to kill a regular because him being a regular, no matter if he's in a regular or not, he's still a regular. So maybe they notice like, oh, you're trying to kill this regular, you're targeting him, you're like really going crazy. Um, then they implement like Evan Kill and Han Sung, or or this is how Lu dies. It could be this is how Lu dies, because I think if anybody, I think Lu's death flag exists, because Yurik has his hat in the regular series. So maybe they kill Lu in a way. Maybe the supervisor manipulates things and he gets a hold of Lu to try to get rid of Yurik, and they kill Lu, and that's how the supervisor loses his position. That's a possibility. Any more than the second floor seems to be too much content for a spinoff. I agree with you. I agree with you, but I think it would be a bit of a disservice to us if we don't get to see him meet Phantominium in the tower, or at least see the Ari Han 100 floor test. I just think that's a disservice. We got to see. I think just the significant events that happen pre bomb, all the big events. That's it. That's it. I do agree with you. There's a certain point that you have to be careful with content that's too much, and that's why I don't think this will or should extend past the Tower God season 4 drop. But the big events, I think you have to show the big events. You have to show. I think we show up in like somebody said, Reswan. We see up until Walhai Song is formed, because it would be a disservice for us to have a spinoff and not see how Urek got to the point where he said he's forming a group whose whole goal is to get out of the tower, right? Because the goal of Wahai Song is to get out of the tower. They are to escape the tower. That's their entire goal. That's it. They don't really want to fight or cause wars, but they are their own faction who want to get out of the tower. We got to see what caused Urek to get this, because obviously, I think Phantominium does his thing. He goes again. I don't think his event happened yet, where he goes into Zahard's castle and kills everybody. But when he does, and then he meets up with Urek, and then maybe Phanta leaves the tower, and Urek's still chasing him. So I would want to see that happen, like him, like, oh, okay, I can't follow him, or like I need to find a way to get out to go get him, because I think that's his whole goal. Um, yeah, we might get a glimpse of Urek's content from the Loris, Arihan test, Y song formula. Yep. Oh, true. And you know what? I wouldn't mind that either, because everything, we don't need to see the absolute details to it, but us seeing like a couple quick chapters where the big events happen, yeah, that's fine. As long as it gets illustrated, as long as it gets illustrated, I'm happy. I'm super happy. So, shit. Excuse me. Um, yeah. So in terms of this next chapter, right? In terms of chapter 9, I'm gonna call it now. I think chapter 10 we get the reveal of the princess's name. Um, Siu likes to do cool stuff on um, like tens and like 20s of chapters. Like usually those are like really like significant chapters where something cool happens. So I'm gonna say chapter 10 we get her name, because they're it seems like they're gonna form a duo, right? Him and her are gonna form a duo. So this next chapter 9 is gonna be Urek and her fighting the ghost and possibly defeating it, and them dealing with the golden Shensu thing, and we probably get some more on the supervisor, or I don't know if the Chiang blonde haired guy at the end. I don't know if he's necessarily supervisor, but we probably get some more context on who he's hunting down, whose blood he's following, and then chapter 10. I think we probably get her reveal, because you can only stave off her name for so long before it becomes a little bit annoying. If her and Yurk are gonna get close, then you have to like give her name soon. And once her name comes, which I think is gonna be chapter 10, oh, the theories are gonna form. The theories are absolutely gonna form, and it'll actually we could maybe figure out whether or not she lives or dies. Um, because amongst the Zahara princess list that's currently listed, I think I don't know if there are any named princesses that we know of that died. Right? Like, let me pull up the Zahara princess wiki list real quick that we know of. To see if there's like anyone we can track, right? Um, let's do comments. Let's do a web capture, a window capture. Actually, I could just do it on this page. Yeah, I'll just do it on this page. So just on the wiki, right? Just want to look at the name princesses that we currently know about. So, so let's look at the 13-month series. Well, we know what the 13-month series are. I thought they would just show us a list of ones who have one. And on all honesty, too, I think that she might be one of the princesses who actually, she might get she might get a little flack for fraternizing with a man. I wonder if like she is one of the princesses who may get in trouble for being so close to Yorick. I wonder if that's a thing. That would be quite interesting if it's like if that's a thing. Maybe this was Yurick first love, and Garam reminds him of her. Right, that's what I'm saying. I wonder if we have any name princesses. So I'm just thinking about Like they must not marry. They must not have a relationship with a man. Um, this honestly, her picking Yuri kind of seems like it's heading that way. I don't know though. Let's see. All right, so the 13-month princesses, right? So we know Ari, we know Adori, right? We know Adori. We know any Hagraphone Zahar, the Red October. Now I've seen people already saying in a few comment sections that they think that this is her. People are saying that they think this is her. Um, but she doesn't give me Ari family. Like she doesn't seem like an Ari family girl to me. Like they typically have the white hair, right? But she is the one of the only two people to pass the Ari Han floor, 100 floor, and she has a relationship with Urek. So she would be my number one like guess. She would be my number one guess because this is a princess. She's the only one next to Urek to pass the test. I think the cliff notes kind of line up there that this is possibly her. Um, though she doesn't give me Ari family though. She just doesn't give the typical Ari family white hair concept. And that could be I don't know. That would be like I think everybody from the Ari family that we currently know about or seen have white hair. So I I don't know. I don't know. It depends on who her mother is. It might depend on who her mother is. But currently, we've never seen a Ari family member who doesn't have white hair. I can't think of anybody in the story who doesn't have white hair. But yeah, as it stands, speculated that she is likely the one who defeated the Thug Slayer White and thus precipitated an exile in South L Express, since White was defeated by a member from the same family as according to yeah, we knew this. We some of us think this is a Dory though. It's speculated she's likely the one who defeated the Thug Slayer. Some of us think this is a Dory who actually defeated White, but um, yeah, she is looking very like likely right now to me. She is looking like the likely princess. Now, obviously, we know Machini's not. We know Graham's not. We know Yuri's not. Alfid. I don't know who Alfid is. I don't remember who that is. Let's look at Alfid. Alfid Zahar is one of the princesses of Zahar and the owner of the luminous gem. She is currently missing. That is all the details we have about her. So, yeah. Yeah, there's a couple theories down here people have with like really no evidence. Um, but yeah, not there's nothing that suggests it could be her and Zahard, former princess or chosen princess who owns Silver January. Current whereabouts unknown. Yeah, no evidence there at all. So she shouldn't be at this point. She shouldn't be a regular anymore. She shouldn't be a regular anymore. Ah, so we do have a couple here. Okay, that are deceased that we know about. Um, Ari Hornzahard. Kind of first name is Horn. Is to be the is to said to be the very first Zahara princess and also a member of the Ari family. She is currently missing. Well, we know that's not her. We know she's not that. Um, I'm not going with any of the other regular princesses. Um, yeah, we know none of them, none of them. But the Ranker princesses. Okay, so Haste Zahard. Is a princess of her after she became a ranker. Her ability was recognized. She was presented with a 13-month series, but turned it down. Turned it down. Now that's interesting. That's actually a very interesting. I'm gonna kind of label her possibly number two in line. I'm not gonna lie to you. Um, because there's a possibility, right? And I'm just throwing weird. I'm just floating theories out there. Maybe this princess being in lockstep with Urek learn some things. Maybe she learns the truth about Zahard. Maybe she learns that like being a princess is like not a good thing. Maybe having a 13-month series weapons will do something to you, and she turns it down, and she decides to join Walkie Song instead. So turning down a weapon and then joining Walkie Song. Her whole thing with her wanting to kill Zahara is strange. Maybe after meeting Yura, yeah, it's been right. Yeah. That's who. That's exactly who I'm talking about right now. So I'm gonna put her maybe possibly number two. Um, I think what you just said, Yurik, is exactly what I was thinking. She has a pretty like this is a pretty like turning down 13-month series weapons when we know that she's seeking one, and then she wanting to kill Zahard. Like she's one of the few people who want to kill Zahard. Um, I'm gonna. This is possibly number two right now. Okay. Now, um, then we have Pondu Zahard. Pondu Zahar is one of the Zahar princesses. She's in the Kun mission. She and Kun are part of the force that successfully apprehended Eurasia and Zahar. Hmm. I have no takes on this one. She just took part. She was just one of the princesses who helped subdue any. So I'm not sure about this one. It's hard for me to think about the princess subduing another princess given what she wants to do. So I'm gonna say no to that. Now we know Anik. We know the original Anik. Rebecca Pawn. I think she's one of the ones that was killed by Any. Dispatched to capture Eurasia and Sahara during the Any Sahara incident. She and Uni Sahara were murdered by Any in the process. Right. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, she's one of the ones who was killed by Any. No details about her appearance or anything. Um, Any should be sealed though. Any should be sealed at this point. So I think that eliminates her. This eliminates her and um this other one. I got lost. Uni. I think that eliminates both of them. Yeah, those two should be eliminated all right off the bat. Your Ramsard. Oh, she's the one who went crazy, right? Holy. Your Ramsard is the sea princess who and former owner of the Indigo July. She was murdered. Oh, wait. Okay, murdered by who took her weapon. She was chosen to become a princess long ago and eventually bestowed with the Indigo July in recognition of her abilities. Her younger twin sister Goram was also chosen and given a 13-month series. Eventually, Yoram obtained a second 13-month series weapon. One day, she was sent on a mission and faced a. Well, I feel like I forgot about this story. One day, she was sent on a mission. She faced a strong opponent, and the confrontation forced her to ignite both of her 13. Yeah. Okay, I remember this. According to the contract between Zahar and the ghost of the inhabited those weapons, your ham was possessed and ran on a rampage. The result was the death of some of her allies, including another princess of Zahar. Her little twin sister Garan was then faced with a difficult choice: either kill her own sister or keep their birth family safe from retaliation, or let Yoram live at the risk of their family being branded as public enemies. Garan was forced to choose the former and took Indigo July with her. Huh. Huh. Yeah. I don't think this aligns. Um, Especially like if she's supposed to look like Garam. Um, yeah, she doesn't look like Garam at all. They don't have the same type of hair. So no. So as it stands, yeah, I think the two princesses that we can possibly guess right now are Hagi Farone. I think it's Hagi Farone or Haste. Hagi Farone and Haste. I think those are the two that we can probably guess are possibly who this princess is. The timeline with the princesses are involved with it, and he doesn't fit. Yeah, yeah, and it shouldn't fit. That leaves us with three options: Haste, Ari Hagafon, and new one that new one that's not in the lore. True. Yes, and that should be the third option. You're exactly right. Um, yeah, I'm going with Hagi Farone as number one first. I like however you want to place it, and then I'd put Haste there. Um, as far as like with the evidence that we have, I think that's good enough. So I think yeah, but yeah, I think in two chapters. So in 2 weeks, we'll figure. I think he'll eventually reveal her name. He's got to reveal her name. Like especially with her and Urek getting close, he has to reveal her name. It has to come about. So I think it's coming soon. Has to do it. I wonder how many princesses will eventually show up. It seems like he just created a bunch of them to plug in when and if needed. Yeah, you know what? The hard princesses are like some of the coolest concepts in the story, right? Like just the idea of them and the families, and some come from um in Dorsey. We don't know what family she comes from, if any famous family. And yeah, I agree. He probably commit. He's that absolutely created some just for background or whatever. Um, but the ones that I don't know if there are going to be any more that show up in the Urek side story. I don't. I don't know. I think we see Yori. I think we see Yori. I think we should see Yori because Phantominium is a part of this side story, right? So I think you have to show the event where he goes into Zahar's castle. Yuri met him at the castle, or yeah, she came across him in the castle. So I think we do have to see like a younger version of Yuri. I think that would be absolutely fantastic, and she's a fan favorite. So showing Yuri, I think you have to do that. I don't think we should think too much about this. This could be a brand new character in just a series alone. No, I agree with you, Gaius. I agree with you. It's just that I don't necessarily have a problem with her being a new character. It's just as it stands, just putting like some evidence together, she could possibly be established already. And then the pink hair is a bit of a giveaway. So I don't know. Yeah, yeah. I think you should just you should use one of the princesses you already made. Um, because again, I understand that like Tilly said, you can kind of plug in, create new characters or whatever, and that's okay. But I think I would rather you use someone who has a bit of history already in the tower, because then we can put like some more things together, right? If we can figure out like whether if it's haste or not, then you can like kind of piece some events together. Um, Especially like Hagi Farone, like she's like one who's been around in the background for a long time, so. Uh, But yeah, I think this next chapter we absolutely get to see her and Yurik work together, and this kind of forms like their friendship. Like I think they form a legit friendship. Um, I wonder how the supervisor is gonna react to this Shinsu. Um, what's his name? Rahab. That's like one of the biggest questions. I want to see his reaction to how to deal with this Shinsu, because right now Yurik Shinsu is just talking and like in near the ship, right? So somebody like that supervisor who's probably like a decent level ranker. I don't even know if he's a high ranker. I would hope. I would kind of. I don't know if I would want him to necessarily be a high ranker. I don't know. I mean, yeah, he probably has to be a high ranker if he's a supervisor of the floor test, right? But I want to see how he deals with Urek's Shinsu, like his reaction to it. Like, does he pick up on like something crazy? Like, oh, this sounds like something that happened with like Phantominium, um, when like that other irregular entered the tower. Because Phantominium entering couldn't have been much like too far away from Urek entering, right? So yeah, I think that's all the predictions I have for the next chapter. You guys have any predictions for the next chapter? Anything you think that could possibly happen besides what I already mentioned, or do you have any theories that you want, like you guys have crafted? Yeah, I agree, Yurik, but I don't think she's just like in Kidu of a character, important but not that important. Uh, hmm, I don't know if she's an Enkidu. I would dislike if she was like an Enkidu type. Because I have my own biases against Enkidu. I don't like Enkidu as a character, and I don't like how he was used. But that's just me. But yeah, let me know if you guys have any predictions for this next chapter. Bum, 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 bum. I think the Shinsu you're created is going to catch some bodies by basically differentiating good guys from the bad guys. That's not a bad take. Yurik Shinsu becoming sentient and attacking people. Excuse me. I like that. I actually like that a lot because then it's something they kind of got to fight or battle. And I wonder if it sees Yurik, like, does it have a certain reaction? Like, does it go to him? Does it say like, oh, like, does it call him like dad or something? Like, I don't know what to make of that. That's not a but I don't think that's a bad take though. I think maybe the supervisor tries to he like might try to clear it out or like destroy it or something, and he won't be able to. That would be a huge red flag for him. Like, oh, like what is this or whoever created this? Like I can't control it or get rid of it. Oh, another thing I did want to talk about. What do you guys think about Evelyn? Right. So like we got in chapter 7, we found out that Evelyn cannot tame animals. She cannot tame animals because they die on impact. First of all, that's crazy. We've not heard of anything like that in the original story that I can think of, where somebody can't tame animals because they kind of just die from the control. Like that sounds like trauma level control, right? I think and I was saying in the review, I think she has to have a divine beast, right? Like there's nothing else that she should be able to she should be given something that's of higher tier quality in terms of animals. So like a divine fish or like um like Kieran's lion dog, like something like that. She's got to be granted something like that. If she like she's got to be kind of like low key, like slept on, right? But she didn't pop up. Like again, she we went through the Lobopia story and we've never seen anybody named Evelyn. So that kind of sucks. Cause right as far as I stand right now, I think there's very 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 little Lobopia people left. Season 3 did decimate most of the Lobopia army. I would say like 95% of them are smoked. The ones that are regulars are still alive, obviously because they're climbing the tower. But Evelyn should be a ranker by the time like bomb story happens. So maybe Traumery, or maybe she exists on another floor. Maybe she's a part of Urek's Wahi song. Maybe she's a part of that too. She could also be a part of that because obviously we got to think about Wahi song as a group. It's possible, like, okay, so let me just throw this out there. Maybe this is the beginning of the beginning of Walleye song, right? Because obviously, you know, Yurik's gonna he's gonna form it, but maybe these people are like founding members, right? Maybe Lou dies, like obviously because Yurik has his hat, and Evelyn doesn't care to about her family because she seems like she's in love with the guy, right? And this is the first guy she's had an attachment to. So maybe she joins with Yurik in Wahai song. I could kind of see that. I would like to. I kind of like her character, so I would like her to not die. But I can kind of see that a little bit. Maybe Trump gives her anima. I think he has to pace for somebody like her who there's no other option, or she has to capture something that's on a higher floor. The problem Lopia is finished, and I kind of have had enough of that fraud family. Fair enough. I'm cool with it if she's in Wahai song. I'm cool with it if she's in that group. But I I don't know what her significance would be to Tower of God, the regular story, if she's not a part of Wahai song. Like there would be no use for her in the regular story. Like we would just say, "Oh, there's Evelyn. That's cool," but no, like her whole family's gone. Unless she's like she shunned her family and she disowned her family, then yeah, that would be okay. I'd be okay with something like that. But I think she's very interesting. I kind of like her. I hope she doesn't die. I kind of like her a lot, and she likes Lou. I can absolutely see her joining Wahai Song because we know like the Coon family is like a part of Wahai Song, right? Like we know that there's a Coon member, but there's got to be members from other families that are also in York Screw, right? So why not a Lobo Pia? Yeah, yeah. So anything else? Is there anything else to talk about? Oh, look, it's Kill. What's up, Kill? What's going on? How you doing? You know, you're a wave controller teammate. Ah, Neo. That's right. Background, I guess, is Fug. Fug might want to know what's happening there, but before sending Ivanko and Han Sung. So there's a couple people in my Discord who have a theory that Neo is like a clone of V. So Zenu's not here, but Zenu kind of thinks that he kind of gives off a V kind of look. I mean, he does give off that kind of look, and the guy is really creepy and mysterious. And oh, that's another thing that happened. So let me bring that panel up real quick, right? Because there's something going on with him, and I do want to bring that panel up. I got to use my cover screen, so give me a second. I do want to bring up the panel in the beginning of 8. So this thing, right? What do you guys think is happening with Neo in this panel? Because something happens to him right here, and I talked about it a little bit in the review. What do you guys think? So there's like this is like blood, right, in this panel up here, And this is like I don't. This like this white thing is kind of like I don't know. It's kind of like an indicator that something's happening. And then he gets this piercing through his chest, and then he says, "Damn it." What do you guys think is happening to him? Blood usually means like in like just in typical, it means that like he's hurting on the inside or that he's sick or something's wrong. That's what like I typically think, but I want to see if you guys like think anything else about that, because that's kind of the reason why I think he didn't involve himself in that moment to like help them. Is like he had a moment where he gets stopped or something hurts him. And I like Zenu's clone theory about him. Yeah, like he resembles somebody from the Grace family, right? I like Zenu's clone theory that this guy's like a failed clone. Um, so the like his whole theory starts from like the 25th bomb, right? Like it's supposed to be the 25th version of bomb, right? Neo is another version of bomb, and that like he's like a failed. He's like one of the failed versions, I guess. He also said that like he thinks that Lou is the same thing. That Lou is also a failed version, which I don't hate that theory. Like I don't hate that theory. Like that's cool. Like I have no takes on this, um, but like Lou is reminiscent of Rachel, and Neo does kind of look like somebody from the Grace family. But something weird is going on right here. I think he's reacting to him, like I said before, experiments. Okay, okay. Okay. So maybe there, yeah. So I guess the consensus a little bit in the community right now is this guy's some type of clone or experiment. Um, like I said, a version of bomb is what somebody else said. With Zenu originally said. I don't hate that, but there's definitely something wrong internally. Like this is definitely an internal thing that's happening to him. So I wonder if he has like a time limit to live or something. And a little bit of evidence in this chapter would be in chapter 7 would be his ability to use Shinsu automatically, like that is very reminiscent of a bomb. um, and Evelyn even tells us that in the chapter that, oh, this guy is able to create a ball of Shinsu or create a small bang his first day of training. His first day of training, he's able to do that. That's unheard of. I'm streaming. Okay, I love you. Bye. Um, yeah, yes, this is yeah. Maybe experiment right now. I would kind of second that because I don't know what else you would make of this guy. Um, and then it's like is the and like have people decided what Urek means when he says that people smell of sea salt or whatever? Like he said about Lou, and he said about Neo as well. That like, they give this hint of like sea salt. Is that like inferring that these guys are from the outside, or like maybe from like somewhere off place? Like I don't know. Um, but yeah, I'm kind of rocking with that theory about him being an experiment for sure. Otherwise, I have no other takes on the guy. He's a little bit weird though. He's definitely a little bit weird. He's very elusive, very hiding, like him hiding around that corner. Even in chapter 7, when they're talking in the room about the scout training and the spirit throwing training or whatever, and he's outside the room, just kind of watching them. And Yurek's like, "Yeah, how did your training go?" Like he could sense them out there watching. Like there's something weird about the guy for sure. And we also know his objective. He's targeting somebody. No idea. I like the Fug theory. I do like the Fug theory too. Um, the Fug theory and the Grace theory. I mean, they can be connected. So yeah. And I'm trying to think. Is there anything else to make any guesses or cover? No. I think we made some guesses and predictions that we can go off of. Unless anybody has anything else they want to chat about, I might hop up off here. This is a cool quick stream. Um, this is the thing with like such a new series. There isn't as much content to dig through, um, and especially since these characters are all new to the series, there's not many things that we can dig into. But I think we like talking about enough theories and possible things. So I am hyped for chapter 9 though. I do want to see the princess and Urek fight together. I'd be I'm really hyped to see that. Well, the other option is that they're RLD, right? Um, yeah, that's also a possibility. They're from the red dump. Yeah, yeah. I'm actually there with you. I'm actually there with you. Um, but then like if they're from the red dump, what does that mean? Yo, for loop, what's up, for loop? Like, yeah, if they're from the red dump, what does that mean? Because anybody from the red dump, like most of them, I'm looking at them more so like if they're experiments, okay, like because we know they're like there's technology or whatever there, but if if they're from the red dump, what would Neo even like? He wouldn't be Grace. He wouldn't be Grace family if he's red dump. Neo wouldn't be Grace family if he's red dump. But there isn't much to prove it. Yeah, I mean, right now, as we know what exists in the tower in terms of places you can be, there's obviously the outer tower, like the outside the tower, and then there's the inner tower, where like most of the regulars come from. Then there's the red light district or the red dump, which is hidden in between the like in between the floors, and then obviously you're like, well, yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it. So yeah, you can pretty much make a guess for you know a regular or a red light district. But right now, I don't know because Yurik doesn't really specify too much. Oh, he specifies like a sea salt smell. By the way, are you caught up? Oh, I'm absolutely caught up. I'm caught up on the normal series and the current Urek side story. That's what we're chatting about here. Urek the best duo partner to have in a battle situation. Yeah, if they have like, and that's one thing I really want to see. If they have like real chemistry in this next fight with this ghost guy, then they are absolutely positively a duo. They will absolutely positively be a duo. Um, they will definitely become friends. Like if their synergy is right, and it seems like it would be to me. Maybe it's hinting. Maybe it's hinting about Urek and the RLD future conflict. That if it's RLD, that would be so crazy. Um, but it's also like one of the biggest questions from like season 3. How did the people from the RLD get out? How did the people from the RLD get out? That is like one of the biggest questions from season 3. How did they escape? Did they use like technology they have? Because obviously they have warping technology, right? But even so, this early on, they were already getting out and like making their mark around the tower. It's kind of crazy. Is there also there's also Bayek knowing too much about them? Yeah, and I wonder. That's one of the biggest questions. I can't wait. Or when do we run into Bayek? Wild Theory Neo is Bayek, and he and Urek wouldn't meet until they became Ranker. Neo is Bayek. I don't know. They got out. They got out with the bracelet, right? Well, no, not necessarily. Not necessarily. For loop, because if you use the timeline, right? So the assumption is that Wang Nam is also from the red light district, right? Gustang doesn't have the bracelet at that point, and Wang Nam is already out. Same thing with what's that corny guy? I can't think of his name. Karaka. Karaka is also like somebody who's already out, right? This is us assuming that Zahara clones all came from the red light district, but assuming that they did, Karaka is already out as well. So not necessarily. Let's not forget Big being a gifted wave controller. That's true. That's very true. But I don't know if it's Neo though. I don't know if it's Neo. I mean, you're not wrong. He's Tower born. Big is Tower born, and he's one of the best wave controllers to exist ever. So you're not wrong. I'll hold out. I'll hold out for that one. It's Stacy. Oh, okay. What's up, Stacy? You forgot his name. Such an impactful, memorable guy. Yeah, where's Scythe at when you need him? You know I can't stand Karaka. Karaka with the lowest amount of impact in the latter half of season three. Like big W Karaka, right? Ain't see Karaka since he got packed up by um damn, it's been so long since I've read been a couple months since I've read, but I just forget names when I'm not actively reading it. We know who I'm talking about. Karaka's dad. Can't think of his damn name. Terrible. Um yeah, I think we're good here though. I think we exhausted much of the topic we as we could. Maybe a regular shooting the tower causes space disturbance, so some of the RLD escape weather and irregular enters. That's a out there theory, Urek. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty out there, but I don't hate it. I don't hate it. That's pretty out there though. But at this point, I mean, we just learned about gods entering the tower. So what's to say that hey, what's up, Supreme? We talked about everything that we talked about a lot of shit. We talked about the possibilities of what's going to happen next chapter. That's like the main topic. But we discussed the princesses, who we think this princess is. We pretty much made guesses. Um, Hagi Farone for me is number one, and then we have Haste Zahard. She's somebody who denied a 13-month series weapon. Um, and that's just like that's just all the evidence that we have. She just denied one, and so we know that this one is seeking one, and she's seeking to kill Zahara. So it's possibly like she said no, she doesn't want to kill Zahara because maybe she found out something, or she wanted to join Urek. So it could be Haste, but right now I'm sticking with Hagi Farone. Or and the third option is she's a completely new princess that we never heard about. So yeah, but and then we talked about Evelyn and her ability to not tame anima. Um, it's not that she can't tame them; it's just that there's no anima stronger than her tame ability. So it sounds like she has to either tame something on a higher floor, or Trom has to give her one. So the boss got out when Inryu entered the Karaka. Wait, the boss got out when Inryu entered Karaka when Mazano and Wangna with when Fanta entered. But you know what? When did the boss pop up? The boss popped up during Genesis, right? He popped up to give the warning to um the Hidden Grove about Bomb's future. I don't, but by that point, Inryu had already came and gone. That's not a bad take though. I don't hate that theory. It's That's pretty fun. If anything, it's pretty fun to mess around with. Karaka with Mazano and Wingna with Fanta, but that would be backwards though, right? Because Fanta got in before Mazano. Hmm. Okay. 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 Well, gang, I think I'm gonna call it a stream. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it a stream. Yeah, I think we exhausted the topic pretty much as we could with the content that we have. So, I just want to say thank you guys for stopping in. I see that we got a nice 10 in here. Sorry for those who couldn't join earlier. The topic we were like talking pretty deep about some of the stuff. So, go back and watch if you're interested. If you're into omniscient reader's viewpoint, I will be reading live tomorrow. I'm trying to catch up, so I will be reading that live tomorrow if you're interested. If not, all good. But yeah, I think we've exhausted the topic enough. So if you haven't joined the Discord, join the Discord for more theories and chatting. Duh, 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 duh. I'll post the Discord link again. Give me 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There it is. Discord link for anybody that wants to join. But yeah. So yeah, sorry Supreme. Yeah, you might have to watch it back. So yeah, I'm gonna get up off here, guys. Next stream will be next week in terms of for Tower of God. So I guess I'll see you guys then. Till then,